Lesson 6 of Chapter 3 of Probability and Statistics. Our topic today are percentages and z-scores. The essential outcome is that you'll be able to find the z-score and the corresponding percentage. So what we're going to deal with today are the standard normal probabilities of different values. So here you have a table, and what it has is it has the z-scores on these axes. And so if I look at a point, let's look at this point right here. This probability is 0.34%, and its z-score is negative 2.71. And so all of these are the probabilities of being less than the z-score that we find. And so here, once again, I have that table. Now my z-scores are positive. Each one of these values is of the probability of being less than that z-score. And so here you have we have a normal distribution. And it says find the percent of observations below negative 2.24. So that's going to be something around here. So we go to our table. We go to the negative table because this was a negative one. We find, okay, negative 2.2 and then 0.04. We find where they intersect, and that gives us our probability. So our probability for this one would be 0.0125. We turn that into a percent. We get 1.25%. So here we have another one. What's the probability? Find the percent of observations below 1.36. It's going to be something around here. We go to our table. We find 1.3. We find 0.06. Where they intersect right here is 0.9131. We change that to a percentage, 91.31%. All right. So in this one, it says find the z-score for the 67th percentile. So we don't know exactly what that is. My guess is it's going to be something around here. So we have to work backwards. Now we find 0.67 in that space in our z-table. And we look towards the edges to see what z-score gave that percentage. So if we look at our table, we find 0.67. I found it right here. Okay, and so I look back. Here's a 0.4, so I know 0.4. And I go up, and then it's another 4. 0.44 would be my z-score. So find the percent of observations above negative 2.32. So it's going to be above here. But remember, it's going, we're talking about, our table gives us all the values below it. So what you're going to have to do to get the values above it is you're going to take 1 minus whatever your percent is in the table. So let's find negative 2.32. We look for negative 2.3. That's right here. 0.2. That's right here. So those two intersect right there. Let me erase that so we can actually read it. There we go. They intersect right there at that 0.0102. But remember, we want the values above it. So we go 1 minus 0.0102. Gives us 0.9898, so 98.98%. Alright, so what you're going to do now, so we're going to do the exact same thing again. We're going to find the z-score for which about 30% of the data is greater than the observation. So remember, if 30% is greater, that means that 70% is less. So what we're looking for in the table is not 30, we're looking for 70%. So we're looking for 0.7000 if it exists. If it doesn't exist, we're going to look for the thing that is closest to it. We're looking for 0.700, and these all seem to be 0.6. Here's a 0.7019, 0.7054. This looks to be our closest one, so we go out to the edges. That gives us 0.5. We can go up 0.53 would be our z-score. So this is the end of Lesson 6 of Chapter 3 of Probability and Statistics. Right, your summary and your questions. The essential outcome for today is that you will be able to find the z-score and corresponding percentage.